Hello, fellow human. It's time for your daily dose of entitled parent stories. Have anyone ever asked for your ID so that you could do something that you want? The first story is by Frodo Fox. M wants my ID. So I work at a grocery store. I'm also 24 years old, but my family has a chronic baby phase. This is important to the story. It's my day off and I wanted to get some chores done like clean the garage and give my dogs a bath, but I'm out of dog shampoo and the garage has a major spider infestation, so I run to the store I work at for dog shampoo and a bug killer. I then pass a beer aisle and then think to myself how awesome a nice beer would be after I get all my work done and pick out a couple single bottles of brands I've been meaning to try out. Behind me, I hear someone loudly exclaim, "Ahem." I look behind me and I see a woman with a full cart and a baby in the seat. I assume I must have been in her way as I did have earbuds in, and I take a while to read the labels when I decide to try a new beer. "Oh, sorry," I say, moving out of the way. "You're not old enough to buy that, are you?" she scoffs. Yes I am. I know I look really young, I get it a lot." "Don't lie to me, I have 3 boys, 2 of them are teens. I know what you kids get up to." She then points to the big killer in my cart. "I bet you're getting that to get high off, aren't you?" "Miss, I'm old enough, it's my day off and I'm getting some stuff done like killing spiders in my garage, giving my dogs a bath, and then relaxing with a nice beer." "Then show me your ID." "No." "Then you're lying." "Lady, I don't need to show you my ID unless you're a cop or a employee here. It has my private information on there." She huffs and looks around, possibly for an employee or someone else to back her up, but no one was around, so I just leave. A few minutes later, I'm at the checkout in the self-scan, and guess who I see again? M. She glares at me again and watch me as I scan the beers and then wait for the employee to clear me for it. When the employee walks up, M loudly says, "You better check his ID, he's underage." The employee just kinda looks dumbfounded at her. Miss, he works here? I know for a fact he's over 21. I sold him beer before." M goes quiet, and she probably wasn't expecting that I did in fact work here. She scoffs and says, "Well, can't ever be too careful these days," and walks off. The employee and I have a laugh about it as she scans my ID and then I pay for my stuff. I think that is the worst thing that ever happened about how I look young. I had a smoke shop employee doubt me until he saw my ID, but this was the craziest so far. I mean, even if OP was underage, did she think that their ID wouldn't be checked at the checkout? It's not even her job. Moving on to the second story by u/Avios96. M demands my toddler give up his toys because her husband might be a higher rank than mine. It's knowing where I live, a lot more than what we're used to getting. We live in a military town, and the schools and most other businesses follow the base's lead when it comes to the weather-related closures. The base is essential personnel only right now, so I got the day off. I live across the street from the base housing. My husband and I decided to buy our own house instead of living there, but we're still close enough to utilize their parks. Now to the story. The base housing has a little park every block or less. Honestly, a ridiculous amount of parks. We normally just go to one closest to our house, but since it has been snowing, we decided to go to one further away because it had better hills. My oldest, 4 years old, was bundled up tight and using his sled down the hill, then hiking back up. At one point in time, he got distracted and left the sled, at which point another child jumped on it and was playing with it. That is fine. My son decided he wanted to hike back up and went to get his sled. Now, it's important to know that I'm wearing my youngest 3 months, and because of that, it is unsafe for me to go down the hill in case I fall. I couldn't hear what my oldest was saying to another child, but eventually, he got his sled back and was dragging it up the hill. Enter M. My son is up the hill now and is walking towards me to push him down when he's stopped by M. M reaches for his sled and my son very audibly says, "No, I use my words." We're teaching him to use words instead of hitting when he's frustrated. M reaches for the sled again as I'm walking up. Me, excuse me, can I help you? M, is this your child? Me, yes he is. Again, can I help you? Your child stole this from mine. I watched him. Me, that is his sled? I bought it in Popular Town last Christmas. Your child was playing with it for a while, then mine wanted it back. No. My child was playing with a sled and yours took it. Me, I watched everything happen. Yes, your child was playing with my son's sled. Then my son used his words and then took it back. I've never seen you before. Are you even supposed to be here? You know this park is restricted, right? This is military only. Me, I'm well within my rights to utilize this park. I grab my son with the sled and go to walk away. But that would be top easy, right? Grabs the sled from my son's hand and turns around. Me, excuse me, tramp? Do not take things from my child. Who do you think you are? What did you just say to me? Me, give him the sled back. I'm not playing right now. Do you even know who I am? My husband is insert rank. You can't speak to me that way. Me, congratulations, your husband's rank has absolutely nothing to do with you stealing from my child. I yanked the sled back, picked up my toddler, keep in mind I'm still wearing my youngest, and went to walk away. Grabbed for the sled again, causing me to lose my footing. Thank God I didn't fall, because I probably would have had her head. Me, look you ducking tramp. Your husband has nothing to do with my husband's career, but your actions have everything to do with his. Keep your crap up, and I will get the MPs involved. Touch me, either of my children, or the sled again, and I'll put you on your butt. I'm not playing this game anymore. What you just did put both my children in danger. Walk the duck away. You're threatening me and cussing in front of my child? Who do you think you are? I'll report this. I've never even seen you here before. You don't belong here. Me. You have never seen me because I work for a living. I don't give a crap about what your kid hears. I'm walking away, touch me again, and I will not hesitate to hurt you. Was yelling more as I walked away, then proceeded to glare at us until my son got cold and we went to walk back. I've heard these types of people, but I can't believe I encountered one in the wild. I've dealt with my fair share of entitled parents, but trying to steal from a 4-year-old, endangering a 3-month-old, that is a new low for me. Later on, I talked to my husband and he's pretty pissed, more so than me, which is weird coming from Mr. Non-confrontational. I gave him the description of the M to my husband and the 2 workers who are also spouses. So right now, we have 3 different people asking around to see if we can find the name of the woman and therefore to find a husband. As of now, my husband wants to talk to him one-on-one if we're able to find him. He's planned to give our side of the situation, because who knows what M said, and ask him to correct it on his end. That way, if an encounter happens again with me, I can report it guilt-free. A lot of people were asking for their rank. They're both an E5. That's part of what puzzles me. This lady husband might be an instructor, but he isn't a chief, an officer, or even related to my husband's job. Finally, it's about 50-50 on people's feelings about my reaction. I admit that I have a potty mouth, but I don't typically threaten bodily harm. So in hindsight, I probably could have composed myself better in the beginning. I'm not ashamed of how I reacted once she put my children in danger. I mean, can you report her? I'm sure I've read something before that her husband can get, written up for his wife trying to use his rank inappropriately. On to the 3rd story by /shower arguments ask a stupid question. My son is biracial and fairly dark compared to me. Regardless of how he looks, it still baffles me that someone would automatically assume adoption. Nothing against adoption. Adoption is awesome, and if I had the financial resources, I would definitely adopt or foster, given the amount of diverse couples in the United States. Also, is really anybody's damn business whether the child is adopted or not. While shopping with my adorable spawn when he was like probably 4 to 5 months old, a woman with age soccer mom ASM look and a young teen obliviously following along while watching videos on a smartphone approaches me and comments on how cute my kid is, then asks the question, ASM, where did you get him from? Seriously, what the hell sort of a question is that? Me, my uterus? ASM, where's that? Holy crap! Did she think I just named a foreign country? Me, near the Straits of Fallopian? SM, how long did it take to get him? Are you ducking kidding me? Me, well, the initial proceedings were fairly quick, but there was a 9-month wait. Let me tell ya, it felt like a weight drop from my gut when I finally got to hold him. ASM with a look of comprehension finally dawning. You could have just said he was your real child. Ooh, I could open up a whole new can of verbal whoop-but over your bad dye job, lady. Me, but this was much more fun. ASM becomes red-faced, sputters an insult, and starts walking away. I gently hold my sunsan in the air and wave it. Me, say bye-bye to the crazy lady, sweetie. My son spits up and said, me, yeah, she made me feel sick too. Well, entitled? I'm not sure, but crazy? Yes. On to the fourth story by Brit Litchick. Neighbors using my driveway when I'm away and mad when I come back. My family has a home that we regularly go to lawn upkeep and checking the mail and occasional overnight stays, but nobody lives in actively. My next door neighbor has decided that this means her and her children have free use of my driveway. Her kids will play and draw in chalk on my driveway, which wouldn't inherently bothers me if my neighbor had asked one of the many times they have seen me or my family over there. The recent incident that has really wanted to make me ask them to stop using my driveway is because I went over to the house to spray grass killer on the driveway and saw a bike laying there. The neighbors were outside, and instead of getting up and moving the bike so I could pull into my driveway, they just stared at me and watched me have to park on the street. I ended up having to move the bike myself when I went to spray. The mom then started yelling out loud for me to hear while I was spraying that her kids had to go back inside because I was spraying the driveway. I was annoyed, but just let it go because I wanted to spray it and leave. When I returned a few days later to check on the grass, I noticed the strip of them that went down in the middle of our driveways was mysteriously still green and the rest were dead. I believe that my neighbors poured water on the middle part to wash it away. This also isn't the first time items have been left in my driveway and the neighbor not apologizing. She usually goes inside and tells her daughter, who's like 5, to apologize to me. I'm tired of being made to feel like I'm a bad person for coming to my own property. On to the final story by She Loves to Draw. Give my daughter your car, she deserves it. A little background on this story. First, I have a fairly decent car for it being so old, 16 years old Dodge Neon SE, and I have a zero interest in getting any different since it's reliable, still gets great gas mileage, is completely paid off, and handles great. It's blue with a massive rust spot on the near passenger side just above the gas tank, but I don't care. It gives the car character, you know. Second, this story takes place in Michigan, whereas anyone who lives here or has driven through here knows that the roads here suck. Potholes, uneven streets, and jagged pavement on every stretch of the road you'll ever drive down. Getting a flat tire at least once in your life while living here is both a guarantee and a rite of passage. The flat tire detail is relevant. EP equals to entitled parent, entitled psycho. EB equals entitled brat, entitled tramp. DO equals to dealership owner, and me equals to me. I was driving through town after my shift at work and had to take a really crappy street because that's all I had available to me. I do my best to avoid potholes, but I ended up striking a few anyway, and lo and behold, my rear driver's side tire takes a hit. I can feel that something is wrong with the tire, so I pull off the road into the nearest opened drive I could find. Turns out I picked a used car lot and had plenty of room to inspect the damage. When I step out of the car to look at the tire, another car pulls into the lot behind me and proceeds to park on the other side. I noticed that the tire was low but not flat because fortunately that the pothole only loosened the seal on the stem valve and I could fix it with a can of Fix a Flat that I kept in my trunk. While I'm fussing with my tire, the dealership owner comes out to greet me, mostly assuming I'm here to either trade in my car or shop around when he sees my tire is low. He insists I slowly pull my car further away from the side of the road and up toward the front of the dealership building out of the safety concerns. I agree and move my car where instructed. Turns out I was being watched by a dreaded EP and her demonic spawn. Not long after, I get my car moved up. The DO is lending me a hand and helping me with my tire, making sure the valve was secured and that the pressure was stable. I thanked him for his help and proceeded to sit back down in my car. As I put the key in the ignition, I hear something bang against my window and look up to see a woman, the stereotypical Karen, trying to get my attention. I roll my window down to see what she wants. My bad. Me. Yeah, what's up? EP. Are you through yet? Me. Am I what? EP. Through. Are you through? Because my daughter's been waiting long enough. I look past her and see her 16-year-old daughter dressed in a dark miniskirt, white tank top that showed everything, and 4-inch heels. This is February, by the way. She was also wearing so much cheap makeup you'd think she was auditioning for a role as the Joker. Me, waiting for what? EP, don't act cute. She needs her turn. You've taken up enough of our time. Me, what are you talking about? EP, are you stupid? Your test drive is over. Now it's EB's turn. The entitled brat is standing behind her entitled mother with her arm crossed over her chest and giving me a smug, "Wow, are you customers so stupid?" type of grin on her arrogant face. Me, oh. I figured it out quick and tried to defuse the situation. I wasn't on a test drive, I own... EP, I said, get out. Me, this is my car. EP, no it's not. I just saw you pull back into the lot. We were behind you the whole time, so don't try to lie to me. Me, I wasn't. EP, you didn't even go inside the building to sign papers, so I know you're lying to me. You didn't buy this car, you're just being stubborn little tramp. Me, no, this is my car. I have the EP, what the duck is wrong with you? Get out now. Me, no, this is my car. EP, no it's not. My daughter wants it and I'm going to buy it for her right now. She tried to pull open my door, but thankfully I locked it when I got inside. Give me the key. Before I had the chance to say anything else, she reached through my window and made a grab for the key in the ignition. The key was on a keyring with my apartment and 4 other keychains, so clearly not the dealership's key. When she tried to pull it out, I grabbed her arm and pushed her back. Me, get away! EP, you little tramp, you just assaulted me. I quickly roll up my window and I'm ready to turn over the engine and drive off when I see the DO returning. DO, ma'am, what is going on? EP, this little trash just assaulted me. Call the police. She attacked me because I told her to let my daughter have a test drive and now she's trying to steal the car. The DO looks at me, looks at my worn out, dirty car with a faded bumper sticker on the trunk, and gives the woman the classic, "Are you serious right now?" stare. DO, ma'am, this car isn't for sale. This is her car. EP, no it's not. Until she signs the paper, it's not hers and my daughter wants to drive it. She just got her license and I promised I'd get her the blue car. This is the only blue car in the lot. It was not, by the way. There was another blue car parked behind her. And yes, her 16-year-old daughter, who just got her license, was going to test drive a car in heels. Double. What the duck? DO, ma'am, this car isn't mine to sell. It already belongs to her. EP, no it doesn't. I saw her drive the car onto the lot and I saw you telling her to pull up to the building. Stop trying to lie to me. DO, she had a low tire, so she pulled off. EP, why won't you let my daughter have her turn? She deserves her turn. Is it because my daughter isn't all trampy up like this trash? Note what the daughter was wearing. I'm wearing blue jeans, tennis shoes, a baggy shirt with Kirby Nintendo on it, with a green jacket over top. The only skin visible on my hands, neck, and face. DO, ma'am, stop. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. EP, no, my daughter needs this car and I promised her and all you're doing is wasting my time. DO, I'm asking you nicely to leave before I call the cops. EP, you do that and I'm telling the cops that this tramp assaulted me, pushed my daughter, and that you're selling stolen cars. Now give my daughters this car right now or else. She actually said or else like a damn cartoon villain. DO, ma'am, leave. EP, this is ridiculous. She pulled her phone from her purse and proceeded to call the cops herself. "You are going to regret being so disrespectful to me. All you had to do was sell me this car, but no. You decided this trash was better than my daughter. My daughter deserves this car." I know I'm not in the wrong, but I'm still nervous. I look at the deal through the windshield and he gives me the look that says everything will be fine. Watch this. About 5 minutes later, a patrol car pulls up and the officer approaches the DO. Before he even has the chance to ask any question, the EP starts shrieking at him at full volume. "EP, I want this tramp arrested. She assaulted me and my daughter and she's trying to steal my daughter's car." The cop is unfazed and just looks at me, then over to the DO without blinking. Cop, "Hey, DO's first name, is that true?" DO, "Not a word of it, and if you want, you can check the lot's security cameras." Cop's first name. The EP is fuming, and the EP is just rolling her eyes like we were boring her or some crap. "EP, why don't you believe me? You're not seriously going to take her word over mine, just look at her." Cop, "Ma'am, I need to get both sides of the stories. Now, you said she tried to steal..." EP, "Yes, that is my daughter's car." Cop, Alright, fine, that's easy enough to prove." The cop walked over to the passenger side of the door on the opposite side from where the EP was still seething and motioned for me to open the door. I did, and he of course asked for my ID, my registration, and my proof of insurance. It didn't take the cop long to notice my name on the license and the name on the registration, which was also dated from almost 2 years ago, are a match. He just nods, hands me back my stuff, and closes the door. Cop, "Ma'am, that is her car." EP, "Not possible. She just got her. She couldn't have signed the papers. Why are you all against my daughter? She needs a car." Cop, "Ma'am, you do realize it's a crime to try to file a false police report, right? This car isn't stolen and I seriously doubt she assaulted you. I'm going to look at the cameras and if I find that you're lying to me..." EP grabbed EB's arms and pulled her along. EP, "Screw this place, all this car's a piece of crap anyway. My daughter deserves better than anything that tramp would ever drive." The cop sticks around until EP's leaves, apologizes to me for the disturbance and wishes me a good day. Before he left, he said bye to the DO again, calling him by his first name and was on his way. "DO, don't worry about her. I don't think she'll be back. And if she does show up again, my brother, the cop, will back too." After slipping me a business card, joking that if I ever needed another car in the near future, he'd ensure that no crazy people were hiding in the trunk. I thanked the man for coming to my rescue, drove off, and I've been trying to figure out why my old car was so important to EPs ever since. Seriously, it's not that great of a car, old, losing its pep and needing some TLC, but I still love my blue machine. Wow, this woman with a daughter is super crazy. I'm glad you're okay in your car and the keys are safe too. Phew.